everybody? Welcome back to another recorded match. We have James versus Psionic. Both of these players vying for a spot in the top 64. This is round 5 here.
Yeah,
how do you think it's going to go?
I mean, at this deep in the bracket, especially on loser's side, it's so easy for these sets to go one way or the other. What I can guarantee you, though, is it's going to be a hype one.
Absolutely. I mean, this is where a lot is on the line. I mean, you don't want to be telling your homies, "Oh, I almost made day 2. I lost in the last round." Like this is the spot where you have to make it happen.
Yeah, being able to say you made top 64 at a major, almost a super major at that. This thing is so stacked.
Yeah, I mean, this is the time. This is the time to make it happen for sure. And I'm wondering, you know, what characters we're gonna see out of these players. I mean, I know Psionic plays both the Sheep and the Lucina, right?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Jabe, so I don't know who they will go, but I imagine we'll see very shortly. There's the Lucina coming out.
Okay. By the way, I have checked with the players. It's he, him on both sides, so we can, you know, we can use those pronouns if we like.
It's like Toon is coming out.
Okay, Toon. Wow, really? That's so surprising.
Yeah,
you know, we have
all led by Jojo the Hobo leading the charge.
Yeah, Jojo the Hobo, Cattail. I feel like there's one more that I'm missing for the PMW, but also, you know, Jade's here. I'm not sure exactly where they're from, but you know, losers round 5 versus Psionic. They're clearly a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like they're figuring out something with the setup, so we'll be getting in here shortly. But how do you feel about this matchup?
I mean, this matchup is really just a classic zoner versus sortie matchup. You know, it's just Lucina really has to find her way in through the projectiles and slowly has to take away space from Toon as she approaches through you know, the projectiles, shielding them, jumping over them, whatever it may be. And then eventually they're going to have to find their way in. And I'm going to give the players the thumbs up that they're good to go.
All right, here we go. Let's get into it. James versus Psionic. Toon Link versus Lucina.
And I see on here Illinois for James, so a bit of a long trip, and we're gonna see if that's gonna be the right thing for them. I mean, seed 119, so they're definitely not seeded to make it out here, but and Psionic is, so they have to make this upset, but it is major upset. It is the time to be making those.
If there's a place to do it, it's the top 64 losers qualified.
Absolutely, and already Psionic establishing a bit of stage control. Like I said, once Psionic finds their way in, he's gonna have a great time against this Toon. That's not a lot of good get-off-me options. They can sit in that sort of mid-range where the projectile's on grade, and it's out of range of the little stubby sword from Toon.
We were able to immediately see how well Psionic spaced around Jason's down air with that F smash punish. That's something that's so tricky and precise to do, and Psionic just got it first try.
Yeah, I mean that's something you gotta know. You gotta know when you can let it rip on those big punishes, especially as a character like Lucina, who has the options to get those big punishes. You have to be spaced correctly. You have to know your opponent's going to be very well. Oh, Thundercats!
Yeah. Not only do you have to know those moves, you have to know the roll distance, and that time James was a little bit off. I love the idea, just the execution wasn't quite where it needed to be, and Psionic took that to the bank.
Yeah, but now James in the position where Toon is the strongest. This corner pressure is really powerful, with Psionic opting to hop all the way over it and take back center stage eventually.
Yeah, that was such smooth movement from Psionic to be able to get past all of that projectile walling.
Yeah, that is good timing on the boomerang. You have to know that the boomerang can interrupt you if you don't use the throw armor or throw invincibility. I mean,
and now it's going back again. It goes the other way this time. That classic. Every Toon Link does that. They throw out the boomerang, they grab you, and then they just wait for it to come back to get that little bit of bonus there.
You gotta get it. It's free. It's free real estate. And good usage of that bomb. A little bit of timing mix up, a little bit of an early hitbox.
Yeah, we did see the counter come out. It just wasn't able to quite hit its mark.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the big conditions against when Toon Link upbees. You can always counter it as Lucina.
Speaking of upbees, Psionic answering right back with an uppie of their own. Yeah, Jabe's still in this, not dead, and this is the opportunity that they need.
Good damage, but it's still like this is not a matchup of, you know, you get one big interaction and then you win it. This is a matchup where every interaction counts. That means making a comeback is that much harder. You have to win so many more interactions in a row, and now it's going to look a lot harder as Toon is not great from behind here.
Yeah, could not agree more. And we're starting to see that struggle coming out. James maybe throwing out a couple of risky options, like we saw that grab and neutral, reading Psionic movement, not getting it, and then the punishes from there just start to pile up more and more.
Yeah, this is still, it's good damage. 74%, almost in kill confirm range for like a bomb border or something like that, but still, Psionic is just not giving him that opportunity, not falling for these projectiles. It's just been very difficult for them to find their way in.
Timing from James, speaking of finding their way in, not quite gonna kill, but putting the fear in Psionic's heart with that one. And only 69%, a decent amount of damage on that stock.
Oh! Returning boomerang up smash. He was ready for that boomerang as James made great usage of that stage hazard that he has at his disposal. And now, 80%, not too much, but it's still a difficult mountain to climb. It's certainly a character that can do it if you give him the opportunity to.
And now we're starting to see a couple of little hits there from James. Obviously, Psionic answering back with a hit of their own, but if that nickel and dime starts to get out of hand, it's really easy to eat this up from here.
Yeah, it goes for that counter.
That has just not been working out. And the upbeats again. Psionic may get a little nervous.
You have to go for the counter a little bit earlier, a little bit further away, and catches the ledging with that. Now, a good border. That returning boomerang is actually super threatening.
Yeah, you see how Psionic just opted to run away rather than trying to like do any clever maneuvering around that.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the best thing to do is just reposition. Let yourself get something better on the next action.
Especially in a situation like this where James is starting to get that momentum back. Psionic needs to close this out fast.
Got the Nova upbeat through the ledge. It's a little bit more time and space for James.
Just running away from each other, the double rollbacks. Ooh, that was an opportunity for Psionic. Does not pull the trigger. Understandable because it's so risky. The bomb gonna be in. It was barely made it.
The air dodge was because he thought he was gonna have to protect the stage from the upbeat, but it missed. So now
that is
bomb
huge.
there, and that's it.
Oh my goodness!
60%.
James brought that all the way back. He said, "Thank you, Psionic, for that rage very much. I'm going to take that to the bank and you into the blast zone with quite the bombo combo there."
The bombo combo indeed. Just, I mean, I was really surprised at how well James managed to play around the kill options of Psionic. Psionic had so many openings, opportunities, like little tickles that would have killed, you know, if he just had them in a different spot on the stage. There's forward airs, he has them in the corner, they work out a little bit better. But we see
a character counter pick.
I did say Psionic has quite a large roster of characters to pick from, and I'm not surprised we're seeing a counter pick, but
I'm a little surprised. I felt like that was pretty heavily in Psionic's hand, just could not close out the last time. This is a race.
Yeah, I mean, when it's hard because you're like, oh man, I was so close, I could have done it. But, you know, sometimes maybe a change of pace is necessary, and it's starting off super well for Psionic, already 70% racked up on James. And maybe they think there's just like better wing conditions that Mario has, you know, just the ability to get earlier and to a kill.
Yeah, we also don't know the backstory with Psionic. Maybe they always intended to go Mario against Toon, right? Like, and they just like didn't get it.
He should have known that James is going to at this point, like in the bracket. This is you know, you got to be ready. You got to be ready for what your character,
that's true,
your opponent is playing. If you're top 64 qualifier, like this, you had to have at least watched the last match.
See, that's how you could tell that we're commentators and they're still in this bracket, because that wasn't even like on my mind. Like, oh yeah, you can actually watch their game ahead of time.
And if you even look at James' profile, James has a Toon Link as their profile picture, which sometimes is a bait.
I've been baited by that.
Yeah.
I see like the Ganon profile picture and I'm like, yes, this is gonna be great. And then they pull out the Steve and you're like, well,
But as we've been talking about the character picks, James has slowly climbed his way back into this game. Already 104%, but you know, still not going to get the stock just yet.
Yeah, he's got to get that stock off. And okay, there he goes. I was about to talk about how hard it was, but he does not care. Another bomb combo. He's figured out the safe positioning of that in this matchup against Psionic, because that's something that like it's different everybody you play against, right? So good stuff to him to be able to find that adaptation, but despite that, Psionic still holding a comfortable lead, so it's starting to get less comfortable by the second.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be, like you said earlier, a testament of how they're finding this kill conversion, what their kill options are, and how reliable they are. Because, you know, if eventually you're going to get combos by James, you need it on Psionic's side, catch those landing up airs, catch those edge guards, or something like that. And we see a runoff there. Should still be fine.
Yeah, he's fine. Watch out for that bomb, though. I feel like Psionic definitely could have run in and taken advantage of that bomb going off.
You mean like quick grabbing or grabbing? Okay, yeah, that could have worked.
But it would have been tough.
You don't necessarily know the exact timing like as Psionic. The person who's going to know it is going to be James. So he can usually take advantage of it. He uses that shield while the bomb is up as sort of like a guard. You know, it's an extra guard with a hitbox in front of it.
At the moment, we see Psionic very carefully dancing around James. Does not want any extra percentage before getting the stock. Is the back throw going to do it? Not quite.
Yeah, we're still, I think, more off the back throw kill. It's like right at the edge. Now, a little bit more likely, but the back throw is actually not as strong as it seems. He really spins you up.
He's that guy from gym class who would spin around in a circle before throwing the football, and then it just falls in front of him.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. Okay, but big combo here.
Watch out for that up B. Okay, he's got the kill.
But yeah, good DI for sure. I mean, if you're falling for that against Mario. Oh,
wow. Okay, James with the call out. Okay, I see you. He wants to do this in 2.
Yeah, I mean, James definitely has an opportunity. We saw him make it come back in the last game. This would be a big punish for Mario. Just a good up smash, and now Psionic once again.
Opting for another back throw in that situation. I guess not as worried about stealing it for the kill, more worried about the stage control. And he gets what he was looking for. The up smash taking this to game 3.
Mario! You hear the crowd right now cheering for Psionic. They're really excited. See their boy. You know, this is an invader. A lot of times, you know, you have to cheer for your own boy against the invader. And this is all the way from Illinois, so maybe James also has some fans here. But we'll see. We'll see how they end up going with this.
Now, what's the counter pick gonna be here? What are you thinking?
Let's see. Well, I mean, I think it's going to depend on the character. So character is first at this event.
Yes.
So we have to know, okay, is it going to be the Mario? Is it going to be the Lucina? Is it going to be the Sheik? Probably not the Sheik, actually. I think he specifically does not like Sheik in this matchup, which is why he's been picking these other characters.
I would expect the Mario to stay out after that last game, especially since his opponent has the advantage on choosing stages.
That's fair. That's fair. But I mean, I think the Lucina is the more tried and true character, and Psionic has a multitude, like I said. But we'll see. We'll see what we go into. Town and City is the pick. Makes those kills on the side a little bit easier with the up B and the forward air, and the Mario is the one to come out.
And now here's the question: is the Toon link coming out?
I don't think there's any question.
No.
What?
Oh,
no, it's definitely Toon link.
You can't bait me like that. Why you gotta bait me like that?
Are you a Sora fan?
I'm a bit of a Sora fan. Yeah.
I see. But yeah, I mean, I think James, I think James has a character, and they don't have any qualms about it. This is my character for every matchup.
Yeah, which I super respect. Being able to work around difficult matchups or even just difficult opponents who have your number is such a difficult thing to do in a game where everybody just talks about, oh, my character can't win this isn't viable, Incineroar is better than Palutena, etc., etc.
I think that's just a sign. It's just a sign of a good player that they are willing to fight through the adversity and trust their character, because a lot of times the answer is not counter. And if you tried it for a long time, you tried if you know well the right thing to do. Sometimes you can mix it up and go for a counter pick, but like Psionic did this set. But I really like when people stick to their guns.
At the moment, James doing a really good job with this ledge trapping. Oh, and he finally goes for the hard read to bet on that advantage state, and he does not get it. Psionic answering back and making him regret that. That's the second time we've seen that in this game already.
Oh, just goes for a grab release, and the bomb reactivates. Now the corner pressure is here for Psionic, but suddenly we're back to neutral. James has the grab, and he is putting the pressure on to try to catch the jump read, but now with that middle, Psionic gets the stock.
Great stuff to him. He hasn't done that all set, and all of a sudden when he needed it, when he knew he had the opening, he just goes right out there, gets that back air like he does it every single time.
Yeah, it's now starting off with another combo, 30%. This is where Mario makes money, but on the descent Landing forward air.
James
Definitely did not expect James to swing there.
James has just not let Psionic run away with these games. Every time he gets that shot first, James just answers right back. But this time, Psionic doing one more to him. Not quite gonna get it with the up B. That was so close.
Up throw, up B. Yeah, could have gotten the stop if it was if he had gotten a read on where James was falling. This time, James lives to tell another tale, but
barely
still.
though. At 139, it's called out living.
It's
living on borrowed time right
yeah,
now.
absolutely. Living on a prayer. And good that fireball with the boomerang, but it's still just all corner all day. Psionic putting this pressure on so well. Another light nair. Eventually something has to kill here.
Look how well Psionic is playing around the little damage dealers of James, finally getting that neutral opening. But up until then, he had taken 11% on that entire stop.
Yeah, I mean, that is just a testament to how well Psionic has been playing around these projectiles, finding the big openings. Down air, nice job.
James just struggling to find the openings right now. Even when they do, it feels like it's just one little thing like that, and then, yeah, it's over back to neutral. They're going to need to convert a lot harder to make up for the fact that Psionic is so far ahead in this match right now.
Yeah, Psionic is back airing in the corner. And it's still just like Psionic has decided, okay, I don't need to find anything huge. I'm going to get one little hit at a time, and eventually I'm going to find this kill. And that has been what has made it so strong this set. It's just every single time he's like, okay, I found my interaction win. I'm just going to sit back. I'm going to hold stage position, and I'm going to make it that much more likely for me to win the next one.
And here we see that coming into practice for Psionic as he continues to pressure in. I love the cape usage, and he finds the up B again, but good DI from James, managing to stay alive, but once again, living on borrowed time right now.
Yeah, this healthcare is not good enough for James. He just needs to find one more hit.
My man should have got a family plan, because he needs all of those right now.
Yeah, he needs a lot of care. And now, Psionic still fighting out the corner, doesn't get him back here. And now the James can't find it. He should not find this kill at all. The pivot, back throw should do it.
Barely does it. That's huge for James, but he's going to need a lot to come back. 141, and the up air almost killing on its own. Finally, the back air going to close it out, giving Psionics the 2-1, actually a JV2 on that last game. 2-1 victory, Psionics over James. Great stuff to him. Looking forward to seeing him tomorrow in Top 64.